There's a relationship between daydreaming and brain development. There is a relationship between the degree in which our mind wanders and how developed are our brain connections. That there may be a relationship between perhaps intelligence and daydreaming, not necessarily pointing an arrow that mind wandering is going to result in more intelligence, or more intelligence is going to result in more wandering, but they seem to be going hand by hand. And that's kind of like a very puzzling and interesting type of information that is emerging, as if the process of rebooting, as Carl was saying, is one of those things that helps the brain develop into its full potential.
That's so interesting. What happens then if you don't have enough, I keep asking if you don't have enough time for that, what happens? But I think you have said that we will always find the time.
We will always find the time, but the capacity to mind wander and or daydream is not the same for every single person. Okay, there is variability between individuals, and some do it more and some do it less. And probably Jonathan knows more than I do about that.
Okay, Jonathan.
I'm curious about his opinion on this matter.
Let me ask you, what have you found out regarding that? Do some people, and children in particular, daydream more than others?
Yeah, there is robust differences in the frequency with which people daydream. And you can get at that pretty straightforwardly just by asking people, you know, how often do you find yourself daydreaming? How often do you find your mind wandering off from the situation at hand? And people have very differing characterizations of the frequency with which that happens. And that seems to be associated with a variety of different characteristics. On the one hand, individuals, for example, with attention deficit disorder report greater frequencies of mind wandering. And in the laboratory, we find that they mind wander more. We also find that those individuals show greater degrees of creativity on certain tasks. So again, it's important to emphasize that even that diagnosis is not necessarily exclusively a bad thing. It has some very positive aspects to it.
Okay.